Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, debt slaves, serfs, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome, and let's go back to the not so good old USA and talk about Hillary Clinton. And there's all kinds of things. Of course, one could talk about Hillary Clinton and a lot of things that are really strange about Hillary Clinton and her campaign and everything else. But one of the strangest things about Hillary Clinton that I've always thought was odd, even for politicians, is her desperate attempts to try and portray herself as just one of the regular people and a populist. And not only does she emptily embrace a lot of Sanders' policies halfway in order to try and co-opt that base, even though she hasn't wanted to have nothing to do with most of Bernie Sanders' policies, but just this sickening way she tries to portray herself as one of the regular people, and part of that self-created mythology, of course, that whole idea that her and Bill were broke when they got out of the White House and other bullshit like that. But one of the things that's fascinating about that is being the ultimate insider, being the ultimate corporate candidate. And we see that now because, of course, not only do we have all the elites in the GOP now lining up to support Hillary Clinton, but we have Wall Street and all of corporate America that backs up Hillary Clinton completely. And theoretically, traditionally, I guess the Democrats are supposed to be a threat to the status quo and the corporate interest, but now, of course, they completely represent that. And one of the ways it manifests itself is another one of those ultimate moments of hypocrisy that Hillary Clinton displayed recently when she said on CNN that, quote, 90% of my donations are from small donors, unquote. Just unbelievably that she could say that. And in fact, according to the Center for Responsive Politics, only 18% of her donations come from small donors. And really, let me remind you that she's raised nearly $1 billion for this presidential campaign. And that's another one of the funny things about her being the champion, so-called champion of campaign finance reform now, and wanting a constitutional amendment, which is so hilarious. But now she's going to raise $1 billion and at the same time be the champion about that. But and in fact, Clinton condemned in another recent speech. Clinton condemned the, quote, outrageous tax havens and loopholes that super rich people across the world are exploiting, unquote. Like her and the Clinton Foundation, and her and Bill and Chelsea, all of her friends are exactly these super rich people. She tries to act like she's not part of this group and that they're exploiting these outrageous tax havens. But she doesn't point out in that same speech that, quote, it's scandalous how much is legal, unquote. So she covers her tracks there because she says it's scandalous how much is legal to vicariously point out that she is doing it herself, but at this point it's legal. And oddly, the same sort of thing that Trump says that he takes advantage of these laws, even though these laws are unfair and unfortunate. That's probably true, but for some reason it sounds like even more horseshit coming from Hillary. I guess because she tries to paint herself as some sort of populist. But another way we know that she is not a populist and doesn't get all her money from small donors is the difference between what Hillary Clinton takes in from hedge funds and what Trump takes in from hedge funds, and it's really a staggering gap. Hillary Clinton has taken in so far $48.5 million from hedge funds, and then another $122.7 million dollars from employees of hedge funds in this last year, and that's compared to $19,000 from the hedge funds to Trump. So that says a lot. You can hear all the speeches you want, you can hear all the fake populism you want, but when you see those kind of numbers, you can see that Trump apparently is not seen as any sort of friend of Wall Street, and Hillary Clinton very much is. $48 million to 19,000. Incredible gap. And then where that money goes also shows that there's a severe gap. And the fact that Hillary Clinton isn't even further ahead says something when you look at the fact that Donald Trump has spent $1 million booking ads, and Hillary Clinton spent $100 million booking ads. Another huge, massive gap, and yet Trump has been able to be as successful as he has been thus far. And it also is interesting too that the Hillary Clinton campaign has championed the fact that all the corporate media support her campaign as well. And once again, it's kind of a double-edged sword as far as holding that up as something to be proud of when it shows that clearly that all the corporate media, all of Wall Street, all the corporate America, all the hedge funds, all the players, the status quo, they're all lining up to support Hillary Clinton and feel threatened by Trump. So regardless of what I might think of any of Trump's policies and his personality, just the fact that once again that so many of these people are so threatened by Trump and are so ready to embrace Hillary Clinton really shows that who the real status quo bootlicker here is, and it certainly looks like Hillary Clinton. So anyway, it's kind of a moot point to even come out and complain about anything about Hillary Clinton at this point. The Clinton political machine is in full gear, and she can count on her cronies and to do her bidding. And we have all these status quo interests that go very high up that have been promising her this presidency for a long time, and they're going to do everything to make sure she gets it. So anyway, there we have it. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.